This is Premium Times Half Hour every Thursday at 11 a.m. Today's episode is different because I'll be having a private chat with you. I'm sure you're wondering, what's the peculiar story I'll be discussing today? It's no other than the unresolved issues that the new ministers are expected to tackle. In this episode, I will spotlight 7 ministers and indicate 2 important issues for them to resolve. Welcome to Premium Times Afar podcast. I am Titilope Fadare. This is Premium Times Half Hour every Thursday at 11 a.m. On this podcast show, we discuss important issues and matters of national importance. Premium Times is Nigeria's leading investigative and accountability platform, and we bring this show to you weekly as part of our mandate of providing the information you need to make informed decisions. The show spotlights exclusive reports produced by Premium Times reporters, from in-depth investigations and unique analyses to human angle stories. But before I dive into today's reports, I'm sure you're curious as to what exclusive reports we have published on Premium Times. First is an investigation that exposed how the committee of the House of Representatives charged with investigating job racketeering in government parastatals has been engaging in extortion of money from heads of federal ministries, departments, and agencies, including those of tertiary institutions across the country. This is very surprising and disappointing, to say the least. And this is one report you should definitely read. The second report is an exclusive report which reveals that 27 local governments in Jigawa State have failed to remit at least 3.2 billion naira in statutory pension deductions and contributions for several years. Interesting. The third report is on the NYSC certificate saga involving the Minister of Arts, Culture and Creative Economy, Hannatu Musawa, as more facts have emerged about the NYSC or her NYSC status, which is way more complex than what is currently known to the public. Of course, you can read more of this report on our website, www.premiumtimesng.com. I'll go on a short break, and when I return, we'll continue the chat between myself and you on the new tax or the existing issues that the new ministers are expected to resolve as they begin their duties in their various offices. Stay tuned.
News beyond the surface. Investigations that uncover deep secrets. Analysis with thought-provoking perspectives. Reports that focus on human interest. Premium Times, a leading digital news platform, brings you these and more every hour through videos, written and podcast reports. Visit our website on www.premiumtimesng.com and follow us on all social media platforms for timely updates on politics, entertainment, sport and business. Don't miss out.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Premium Times Half Hour on Premium Times podcast. I'm Titilope Fadare, and on today's episode, like I said earlier, we're going to be having a chat between myself and you on the tax ahead for the new ministers in their various ministries. The first minister on my list is Festus Keyamo, who took the baton of the Aviation Ministry from Hadi Sirika, who left several unresolved issues in the sector, one of which is Nigeria Air. If you don't know what Nigeria Air is, it was a proposed national carrier unveiled in 2018 by the previous administration, but up until when they left, it was yet to commence. President Bola Tinubu's administration has not said whether they want to continue this initiative or not, but is left to the Aviation Minister, Festus Keyamo, to bring this up with the President. The next issue in this sector is the continuous air flight cancellation, delays, and increased airfares. This is definitely one myself and so many other Nigerians are looking forward to, particularly those who ditched road travels for air travels due to increased insecurity, and for some, they can no longer afford the increased airfares, and for others, flight cancellations and delays make the industry less attractive. The next minister I'll be examining is the Minister for the Federal Capital Territory, who is in person of Nyesome Wike, who is also the first Southern Nigerian minister to occupy this seat since 1979.
Be an ambassador. If you know you have developed where you're not supposed to develop, your house must go what? Down. Those who have taken over the green areas to build, sorry.
For Abuja residents, I'm sure the first thing they want the minister to fix is the dark streets of Abuja. In the past couple of years, the city of Abuja has become darker as street lights stopped working, and in some places, there are no street lights. This, of course, has led to increased crime rates in different areas of the territory. Another issue for Wike to confront is the fact that almost every year, some parts of the territory, like Trademore Estate in Lugbe, are prone to flooding, and this might require drastic measures, including the demolition of buildings built on waterways and wetlands. The third minister on my list is the Minister of Education, Tahir Mamman, who has a lot to do in this sector, by the way. The first is incessant industrial action, also known as strike. And this, of course, is the most important for Nigerian students in tertiary institutions. Perhaps the most asked question among observers of Nigeria's tertiary institution is, when will the workers embark on the next industrial action? This is because industrial actions in Nigerian universities, polytechnics, and colleges of education appear to have become a ritual. The workers always quarrel with the government on issues regarding the funding of their institutions and welfare. The other issue is out-of-school children. There are currently no universally acceptable data on out-of-school children in Nigeria. The previous administration disagreed with the figures presented by the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, and the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, which put the figure at 20 million and 18 million respectively. The Nigerian government puts the figure at 6.95 million. Whatever the figure is, the new minister is expected to reduce the alarming figure of out-of-school children in the country. In the health sector, we have Pate, who first has to deal with the exodus of healthcare professionals, particularly doctors, pharmacists, and nurses, to developed countries. This he can do by addressing the underlying causes of brain drain and creating a conducive environment for healthcare professionals to thrive domestically. Another issue is recurring strikes by health workers, which remains a significant challenge that the minister cannot ignore. By focusing on open communication, conflict resolution, and collaboration, the minister can mitigate the recurring strikes. Other issues include fixing primary health care centers and halting medical tourism.
How do we manifest the prioritization of health of our people except through the resources that we allocate to it? Financing is the core of it.
Nigeria's new Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, has a lot to do to revamp the sector. First, he must learn from the failures of the anti-corruption war of the President Muhammadu Buhari era, where the then AGF, Abubakar Malami, the supposed anchor for the anti-corruption project of the government, was unable to coordinate and rally relevant agencies towards the administration's goal. Also, Nigeria's human rights profile is very bad and worse than the average in sub-Saharan Africa, according to a report released in June by the Human Rights Measurement Initiative, a New Zealand-based organization measuring the human rights performance of countries. Mr. Femi Falana, who is a human rights lawyer, attributed Nigeria's poor human records to a lack of strong will on the part of the AGF office to enforce the laws. These are some of the issues it needs to tackle in the sector. Now, let's move on to the sixth minister on the list, Dele Alake, the Minister of Solid Minerals. Mr. Alake first has to deal with insecurity bedeviling the sector so it can attract meaningful investment. The second issue is illegal mining activities, which has been on for decades due to the government's negligence and abandonment of the sector. Lastly, we have the Minister of Women Affairs, Ohaneye. The previous administration got more states to adopt the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act of 2015 and the Child Rights Act of 2003. But different provisions were adopted in states, one of which is the age of consent due to child marriage that exists in northern Nigeria. Another issue for her to tackle is how the justice system in Nigeria and inadequate financial resources frustrate cases of gender-based violence, making survivors abandon the cases and allowing perpetrators to prowl for their next victim. This is where I wrap up today's episode. I hope you had a fantastic time with us. Make sure you keep it a date with us on Premium Times Half Hour every Thursday on this podcast channel. Again, this show is brought to you by Premium Times, a leading multimedia news platform which serves the every-minute stories that can help you make informed decisions and hold public officials, individuals, and organizations accountable. We have cartoons, videos, podcasts, and other interesting content for your delight. And for timely updates on politics, entertainment, sports, and business, do visit our website www.premiumtimesng.com and follow us on all our social media platforms. And also, do not forget to read the investigations and exclusive reports I earlier mentioned in this podcast. We'll be here again, same time, same day next week. From myself, do have a great weekend.
News beyond the surface. Investigations that uncover deep secrets. Analysis with thought-provoking perspectives. Reports that focus on human interest. Premium Times, a leading digital news platform, brings you these and more every hour through videos, written and podcast reports. Visit our website on www.premiumtimesng.com and follow us on all social media platforms for timely updates on politics, entertainment, sport and business. Don't miss out.